Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your lovely, lovely hump day? As usual, we here at the Tom Gully Show hope you are receiving the full, total, and complete amount hump that you so righteously deserve and you so desperately crave. For reason, Mr. Bashonio is laughing. Mr. Bashonio, Tom, you ever sang the national anthem in front of a stadium? No, I've done too many ball games to see that nothing good could come of that, unless I have a recording contract or trying to sell an album. Mr. Bashonio, Tom, have you ever used an AI image generator? If not, have you heard about how they cannot spell English even if directed to? They spell in an alien English hybrid. I haven't heard that, and I do work with that considerably. I know that a certain channel has used real fake to create my face on Frankenstein's monster, which is hilarious, frankly. It really is hilarious. There really are. Mr. Bashonio says, you should have a segment on your show, request AI images, and then analyze what they generate. Skynet is a psyop. Well, I know that the aforementioned Phil Elmore has shown some photos that were generated with AI on his program with his image in them. I'll think about that. I've got some real issues with AI in some areas. And when content is generated by AI, for instance, writing, it's not that good. It's about 20% inaccurate, but it will become good and it will become accurate. And then humans will be put out of work. And I am not digging that at a certain point. Let's see here. Did you know one of the Wright brothers died young? I believe he was the one who was the brain behind the plane. Sorry, it related to the steam-powered man you mentioned, but it's Bengai. So I don't know if Universal. I didn't know one of them died younger than the rest of them. Test it. Test what? Quite a few numbers over the years that's been blocked. Also, thanks for pronouncing my name correctly so quickly. Were you taught by the numbers? What about by the numerals? Taught what by the numbers or numerals? I was taught painting by the numbers. You know, anybody? Larry McMurtry? Do I have to play a little of that song to get it across the plate? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, we're gonna have to fight the fight of Skype numbers another day because this is slowing my computer down too much. I'll look into it tomorrow, and if I can, I will. And it'd just be a kind of a cautionary tale, and you guys can figure out that. How are you specs? No, that's my job to catch up, not yours. Mr. Bashonio says, what image generator do they use in Discord that can include added images? I'm not trying to infer anything about this Frankenstein Tom amalgamation. It's my original brain content. I do not know what they were using. They, I believe, told me, did I write it down here somewhere? I don't see it written down. I know that they would tell me again. It's not like they were trying to hide it from me. It was AI something. I'm sorry. That's the best. You got to hold your powder. Mr. Bashonio says, could you elaborate on where human blowholes are located? Well, mate, somewhere down south of the equator. No, it's on the part where you sit, where you were split. You should, by that point, get it. Did you mean keister? I did mean keister. I did mean Heine. I did mean onion. Yes. I get you were close to dead air territory. So if you had a second chance, would you choose different? No, I think I've got pretty well documented history of screwing it up the first time and sticking with it. I don't buy that, but you go to film school, you learn a lot of stuff. AI something, thanks, Tom. Says Mr. Bashonio. It looks like my luck is starting to turn around. Also, AI will never be able to tell a joke. They're way too analytical. It's like if a robot did stand up. Well, I would like to think that, but a robot will never be able to vacuum my floor. There's too many objects on. That's it. Mr. Bashonio said, Tom, what happened to your trademark? You are stupid novelty road sign. It didn't say you are stupid. It said can't fix stupid. Do you feel naked on cam without it? I know I do. Well, I didn't want to put a bunch of crap on the wall there. By the way, that was a gift from one of our listeners. Grossgoat says, damn right. Give me that spreadable butter, baby. 5 is the reason. Also, after you purchase, they want you to look at stuff. After I buy a pair of shoes, I see an ad for another pair of shoes. I always want to see, can I have gotten something better for less? So I'll go to that page, and that's why they'll try to sell me socks. Mr. Bashonio says, wait a minute, don't humans learn from aggregating data? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. So that only makes me think it will grow only within human intelligence framework. Do you think it will become self-conscious? I don't think that they will ever become self-conscious in any other way that we program them to. So we've got to reach a point where we make it as proficient as we are. Then we have to make it proficient like we are. Then we have to put in programming that says always learn more. Always begin to proactively seek better solutions and better ways based upon these criteria. And that's the hard part, is picking what those criteria are going to be. There's a million Star Treks about the hazards of doing that, but program quite frequently. Mr. Bashonio says, Tom, why do all the radio stations start with W? They don't. The vast majority, but not all of the radio stations east of the Mississippi start with a W. There are exceptions like KDKA in Pittsburgh, but most of the ones east of the Mississippi start with W. Most of the ones west of the Mississippi start with a K, although there are exceptions like BAP here in Dallas. But most of the ones west start with a K. Did I get? Yeah, Leo Calvin's in Manhattan were committing suicide because, or Ubers, I guess. James Moore says, never knew there were exceptions to the W and K radio rule. Yes, there are a number of them. You could probably look it up online. There's more than one station that starts with a K east of the Mississippi, and there's more than one station that starts with a W west of the Mississippi. There's a handful. There's not many, but that's just the way, Kool-Aid or something, or Flavor Aid or whatever. James Moore says, turns out I'll be spending my day tomorrow looking up radio call signs. Thank you. Well, you might be able to just search for stations east of the Mississippi that begin with, that might be an easier way to go about it. Super Toddalulu. Tom, if aliens were to broadcast to the earth, what type of radio do you think they would use? Well, I think if aliens were to broadcast to the earth, and they were specifically trying to broadcast to the earth, and they had some intention of actually affecting, or infiltrating the earth, they would not broadcast radio, they would broadcast television. And if they were to do that, I don't think that they would use necessarily terrestrial broadcast methods. I think what they would do is figure out a way to attack all the satellites and instantaneously turn every single satellite signal, radio or otherwise, including television, into whatever broadcast they wanted. That'd be the smartest way to do it, because that would affect everything. Every little thing gonna be all right this morning. That's the way it would be. Can John be of this earth? Is he of this earth? Super Toddalulu says extraterrestrial, outer terrestrial, extraterrestrial always seemed like a little, it always seems like a term that didn't make sense. If we're terrestrial now, extraterrestrial would to me mean that we're more earthbound. But what do I know? Nobody ever made any wild-eyed accusations of me being smart. The humorous Hardy Speck says, perhaps. I love perhaps. I could call you tomorrow if you're on, says Super Toddalulu. Super Toddalulu. I should be on tomorrow, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. It's got a trash can with V8 in it. It says John drinks V8 like an alien. You got 7 times your daily recommended amount of sodium. Terrestrial makes more sense, but it's not a word yet. Well, we're making it a word. Hardy Specs. I'm going to start. Julian Caesar says extraterrestrial made sense back when people thought Mars was inhabited. Now I guess extrasolar makes more sense. Julian, I agree with you. Diane O'Brien says, when you do that voice, it reminds me of your evil twin. Are you talking about my evil twin, Percival? I've thought from time to time, as I receive what can only be described as sketchy messages from the internet, that Percival may one day return to host the show. I could be telling a bit too much, but the only thing that's keeping Percival from doing the program again is a lack of spirit gum and beard and mustache material, which may or may not have been thrown away in Utah. If I get off my dead lazy rear end, Percival will come back. Super Toddalulu. My dad's name is Todd, and that's why I named me Toddalulu. Hey, Toddalulu. Would you name your son Tomalulu? No, don't. If I ever have children, which looks almost impossible at this juncture, their names will be either Balthazar or Maximilian. So the 2 names that I've chosen for a son. If they're females, that will be Adara or I forget what the other one is. I have them written down on a scrap of paper. I think the problem in your request is that I simply can't come up with a sentence that would require Percival to speak in such a manner. I can't do it at the moment, but perchance one day I will. Happy? You're welcome. I guess the only thing left to say is till next time. Well, we'll see you next time. Whoops-a-daisy. Let's go all the way back this way. Till next time, we'll see you next time.